Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and today we will be going over my Week 3 match for the 5th season of the PDL. This week we are going up against Liam, who is also sort of... He's not new, but he's another one of the players who really doesn't, to my knowledge anyways, doesn't really play Pokemon outside of this league, so... He is sort of a veteran of this league, I guess. He has been in since Season 2, so... He's been around for a while. He drafts kind of new stuff every time, but yeah, his team this season's a little weird. In my opinion, Liam kind of screwed himself over during the draft. He round 1 Heatran, which is very okay. As someone who's round 1 Heatran many times, it's not nearly as good as it was. But like the main thing I'm mostly talking about, the way he screwed himself over, is that he round 1 that, and then which was only 13 points. And then he basically kept drafting like mid to low tier point stuff until like pretty much the last round, when he was still missing a Mega, but literally the only thing that was the most valued point, oh my goodness, the most valued Pokemon left on the board at the time was Mega Pinsir. So he was basically forced to draft that, even though once he saw how fast the other stuff was going, he probably could have assumed that he was getting Mega Pinsir anyways. But regardless, anyways, let's look at the team matchup. So. Spoiler alert, we're going to look at the Musharna at the beginning, because he doesn't have a dark type on his roster, so that just means that Calm Mind, Store Power, and Musharna is definitely the set to run, so that's what I'm doing. So we're Calm Mind, Store Power, obviously with Moonlight and Refresh, with leftovers of the item. It's pretty standard stuff for a Calm Mind, for a Store Power Musharna, sorry. And then on top of that, the big things to get out of the way for my Musharna to be able to clean are definitely his Mega Pinsir and his Buzzwole, which he did end up leaving on the bench. So we ended up bringing Silvally Ghost, as as that was like the best way to deal with Buzzwole, and sort of with the bug attacks that Mega Pinsir might want to fire off. As well, he did have a Suncore of Ninetales and Venusaur, which he didn't elect to bring, so at least with Ghost I can resist the Sludge Bombs as well. We are running, oh my god, what are the moves? We're running Parting Shot, Thunder Wave, Shadow Ball, and Hidden Power Ground, as that coverage is perfect coverage, like perfect neutral coverage for his entire team. And then next up we have a really cool Aerodactyl set with... We're pretty offensive, but pretty bulky, as his speed caps out, I believe, at 109 with Heliolisk. I don't actually remember, but anyways, the set I'm running is his team was pretty Edgequake weak, so I am running Edgequake coverage with Wing Attack and Z-Fly, as with the Venusaur and the Buzzwole there, I did want a flying attack that can be used like repeatedly throughout the match, instead of just having like the one-time nuke, as even Z-Fly is still a guaranteed OHKO on Mega Pinsir, Buzzwole, and Venusaur. So I'm perfectly fine with that. And then the last move is Taunt, because he has a Coister on that team, and if that thing set up a Shell Smash, that would have been really scary. But yeah, so... luckily he didn't bring it, but unfortunate, because I guess it's not really that unfortunate. I could stop other things from setting up rocks potentially. Next up we have Mega Diancie, because his team is just relatively weak to 4 attacks Mega Diancie. We have Moonblast and Power Gem are as just the obvious stabs. We have Earth Power to hit the Heatran, and then I believe, oh right, I think we have Psyshock to hit the Venusaur. Right, that makes sense. So then we have a leftovers Cobalion, which is going to be my dedicated lead, as like I said, it also has Taunt Rocks. For the same reason, like I wanted Taunt to be able to stop the Coister from setting up, but it was also a good sort of like, not necessarily suicide lead, but it can stop him from setting up rocks. And then as well, we just have Voltage for Momentum and Close Combat for stab. And then finally, we have Choice Banded Scizor, because even just looking at this team that he brought, like Choice Banded Scizor was positioned pretty well for the match. So looking at the lead matchup, I still plan to lead with my Cobalion, as it is my rocker and does carry Taunt, so I can stop potentially his rocks from being set up, so I am going to go ahead and lead with that, as we do see here that Liam leads with the Rhyperior. Now, I thought about clicking Taunt here to potentially stop him from setting rocks, but even just like with the only, like even without investment, Earthquake does a ton from Rhyperior. So I like if he just has a little bit of investment and I taunt him and he just goes straight for Earthquake attacking what's in front of him, then I just basically lose my Cobalion for nothing. And since this is my only rocket for the match, I do want Rocks up considering he has that Mega Pinsir. So I'm just going to click the Rocks button anyways. If he doesn't have attack investment, I guarantee live the incoming Earthquake, as I do set up my Rocks. As you do see here, Liam does does go ahead and set up his Rocks of his own. I kind of paused it a little too late there, but either way. So I guess him leading this should have told me that he was going to go for Rocks, so I'm just going to get damage off on this because there's no point in taunting this now. And I don't really want, like, I'm not, like, he could potentially, like, Earthquake is pretty obvious, so I could switch into my Aerodactyl, but I don't have Defog for one. And for two, he could also have a fighting type attack, trying to predict me to switch out into something else, so I'm just going to get damage off here. And unfortunately, even if he doesn't have attack investment now with the drops, I am guaranteed dying to this Earthquake. But the damage that the close combat I got on makes it so this Rhyperior is guaranteed in range of Bandit's superpower for my Scizor. So I am just going to go for that, as it will catch the incoming Heatran if he chose to switch that out. But he does elect to let the Rhyperior go down. And now he does go into the Heatran, which is a fair play on his part. If he's defensive, this isn't a 2-hit KO with superpower, so this makes sense. So I am going to switch out into my Silvally, considering that he doesn't have his Buzzwole here, or the Venusaur, which I kind of prepped in a way to make Silvally kind of handle. Silvally is definitely like my least expendable member, as I do switch out into here. And as we see here, Liam's actually going to fire off his Z move, and it turns out he's going to run Z Sunny Day. So I thought actually that Scarf Heatran kind of made sense against me. I didn't really think Z Sunny Day, but I suppose it's kind of in the same vein. But yeah, either way, so seeing that like I thought that Scarf Heatran kind of made sense, even though this is a little bit worse for me only because he isn't locked into one move. What I am going to do now here is he actually can't kill me with any move since he doesn't have a Z move available now. Nothing he can do can kill me, so I'm actually going to fire off a Thunder Wave to try to slow this thing down. So that way, even if I let this Silvally go down, I can easily revenge with Earthquake on my Aerodactyl after. As we do see here, Liam goes for the Flamethrower, doesn't kill me, and I fire off a Thunder Wave, and I miss. Somehow, it's always against Liam that I always just miss the important attacks. Last season, I missed a crucial Draco Meteor from my Goodra against his Necrozma, which basically led to me sacking Goodra for no good reason. And now I'm just missing this Thunder Wave, and yeah, it's really, really, really looking bad for my Silvally. Basically, though, my plan now is basically just stall the sun until it goes away, and then set up with my Musharna in front of Heatran, and kind of hope that this Heatran doesn't have taunt, because yeah, it's really my only option, because assuming he has stabs of Flamethrower or Flash Cannon, he can dent pretty much what's left on my team besides the Musharna if the sun is up, or if the sun isn't up, excuse me. So basically, like, I kind of make a mistake here. I assumed I was going to die, so I actually clicked Hidden Power Ground. As we do see here, that does a chunk. But what I should have done here was, like, I get the Flash Cannon in case I wanted to try to save this, but I should have tried to click Thunder Wave again. As regardless of the health he was at, like, the amount of store powers I need from Musharna isn't really all that, like, it isn't really, like basically Heatran's HP isn't really that necessary, or like the amount of HP it's at doesn't really matter for my Musharna to set up. So I probably should have clicked Thunder Wave here again. That's just a slight oversight on my part, but what it does do is allow me to waste another turn of Sun. So Scizor is still more important here to me, so I bait the Fire move, switching into my Aerodactyl, basically sacking it, as once again I bring a cool Aerodactyl set and just I don't get to use it because well, last time it was a good prediction on Tyler's part. This time it's just because I missed a Thunder Wave pretty much. So I probably could have saved the Aerodactyl here and switched hard into my Musharna, but then I'm basically just risking crits. And since this Heatran is pretty much like set to sweep, if like my Musharna goes down, I just can't let that happen. So I want as few crit chances on my Musharna as possible. So now here is basically where I have to just try to set up and hope that he lets me sit up in front of him. As we do see here, I get one Calm Mind up, and I am just going to click the Moonlight button here. As we see here, the Flamethrower doesn't do as much anymore, so I go for the Moonlight and I do heal up. And basically, yeah, we're going to see myself just basically clicking Moonlight and Calm Mind for a while until I get to +3/+3 and at a suitable amount of health, because spoilers, Liam does let me set up, and that is really bad on him, because this Musharna is looking to kill multiple things at this point now. So I go for Calm Mind here, and I believe next turn I go for Moonlight, and then that's when I start attacking, I think. That makes sense. Yeah, so here comes the Flamethrower. I go for the Moonlight here, and I get a bunch of HP back, and yeah, this Heatran is guaranteed in range of my stored power now, so I do click that here. As we do see here, he goes for Flash Cannon, possibly trying to get a drop, but yeah, that Heatran goes down to the stored power, and now nothing he has actually can kill me from full. So I basically claim another kill here, and I was kind of anticipating the Pinsir, but he actually goes into the Mamoswine here. So now, the best thing that Liam has to hit my Musharna is definitely Knockoff. That's, like, not a question. I actually thought, like, my assumption is that this is Life Orb, because that's, like, quote-unquote the best set on Mamoswine. But if he does go for the Knockoff, even like Life Orb recoil past that, like I can just click Moonlight basically, and like after he gets like the one hit off with the knockoff to knock off my leftovers, I can just click Moonlight to heal back up to a decent amount of health, and basically like try to make it so I can live with still a good amount of health with my Musharna, basically to the point where I can try to have enough health to also live a hit from Mega Pinsir, even though that's seems unlikely. But either way, I'm just going to click the Moonlight button here. As we do see here, he actually goes for Earthquake, and that does so much damage. That is because that is 100% Adamant Choice Banded Earthquake. That's a pretty high roll, and unfortunately, most of the time, I am not going to be able to recover as much health as Mamoswine is dealing to me. So, unfortunately, my Musharna is looking that it can only get one more kill. So I just click the Store Power button here. Again, besides a crit, I guarantee live this. So I go for the Store Powered and take out this Mamoswine. And now Liam will send in the Mega Pinsir. And I click the Store Power button because, again, like, I kind of figured he would just like attack what's in front of him. He actually doesn't Mega Evolve, which is good. That's not against the rules in PDL, so he does get a +1 attack boost, and now I'm basically forced to go into Mega Diancie. And at this point, if, like, honestly, if Liam has Choice Scarf Heliolisk, that's basically the game. Because I naturally outspeed Pinsir, yes, but if he is Choice Scarf, then if he's Choice Scarf Heliolisk, then he can't kill my Mega Diancie after rocks, but that can change if Pinsir just goes for a quick attack, and then my Diancie is in range. So, honestly, at this point, if he's Choice Scarf... Oh, excuse my mouse. If he's Choice Scarf Heliolisk, he pretty much wins the game, but otherwise, I think I'm in a pretty good position. As you see here, I go into my Mega Diancie. I click the Power Gem button because I don't really have another play. I just have to attack what's in front of me. And, yeah, Liam doesn't click Quick Attack for whatever reason. So, yeah, that Mega Pinsir goes down, and seeing that he didn't switch into Heliolisk right now, that pretty much all but confirms that he isn't Scarf. So I'm going to switch straight into my Scizor, as unless this floor just has Hidden Power Fire, it's pretty much hard-walled by Scizor. So now Banded Bullet Punch just kind of wants to go into town, so I'm just going to pretty much spam Bullet Punch until this thing goes down. So yeah, he does protect here, but I mean, he makes a really questionable play here in switching into his Heliolisk. I think he was too worried about not losing to Mega Diancie, but yeah, that Bullet Punch does way too much damage. Like that Heliolisk is dropping to 2, and now yeah, Floor just comes in after rocks, and Bullet Punch is going to be able to pick up the kill on that. So yeah, that is the game. We win our Week 2 game 2-0, a little closer than it probably should have been because of that Thunder Wave miss, but either way, GG to Liam. And yeah, it was a really fun game. A little upset that Manaphy couldn't make an appearance, which was a little weird because yeah, that Rhyperior was looking like a big pain in the ass at the beginning, but he did have a Heliolisk that did kind of get a free switch into my Manaphy as well. I would not doubt if his Heatran had if his Heatran had Solar Beam for my Manaphy, that would make a lot of sense. So yeah. Unfortunately, Manaphy couldn't make it, but Scizor coming in clutch with 3 kills as well, so that's perfectly fine. So yeah, again, GG to Liam, and yeah, next week we're going up against Josh, who's relatively new to Pokemon, but that's okay, as long as he's having fun with it, who really cares? So yeah, keep your guys' eyes out on the channel for next week for when that match goes live, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.